I don't think I need to hide that this video is very similar to Nakey Jakey's style of video. I guess I always loved how personal his videos could be, so as to no surprise, this video is going to be very personal. So there was this point in my life where I felt absolutely terrible about myself. I had recently gotten out of a relationship, I was working a pretty boring job, I wasn't getting to hang out with my friends as much as I wanted to. I felt pretty lonely and uncool. Uncool is still probably not the right word. It was more like I just didn't like who I was and sort of lacked confidence in myself. And I was also kind of at a point where I felt like I was being used by women. Story for another day, believe me.
I'm beginning to think I've got rotten luck with women.
So what does this all have to do with Devil May Cry? Well, obviously the word cool might pop into your head when you look at Dante. But it's not really so much for what Dante does that he's so cool to me. In this game, he's trying to put up the facade of someone who is carefree and without any worry. But when you get down to it, this whole situation that he's dealing with in the story is a nightmare of a scenario. You don't see your brother for nearly 10 years. First time you see him, he's summoned a giant tower that's bringing forth demons that are possibly killing lots of innocent people. Yeah, that's gonna be emotionally painful, right? And that's kind of why I always loved the DMC3 story so much. That despite how carefree Dante might try to act, he is in a lot of emotional pain, and he's really just using it as a coping mechanism. I feel like that's something a lot of people can relate with, honestly. I guess what I really do love is that it was a game that made me feel kind of cool. I mean, when you get down to it, I'm still basically just a nerd playing a video game, but let me pretend I'm cool, please. There's just something really relaxing about this game, and also really hype. You eventually get to feel like how Dante does in the cutscenes, relaxed and just enjoying yourself. And I guess that was a feeling I just wasn't getting in my life at the time when I was really playing it. Of course, before that, there was the whole thing of me probably getting my ass handed to me by the bosses. I swear up and down now on my first playthrough that the final boss fight with Vergil took me like 20 tries. What's great is that you still feel the same excitement that Dante does whenever he gets a weapon. Even if you're struggling with the game, you always get to be hyped whenever you get a new one. Also, I think this goes without saying, but the weapons in DMC3 are cool as all hell. They just... a guitar that shoots electric bats, yes. I should probably note that even though this game might be my literal favorite one ever, I'm still really not good at it. You can see in the footage here that I get my ass kicked pretty hard, rather often. I don't think I'm gonna be able to ever complete Bloody Palace in a million years. It's just not happening, bro. Also, Dante was always kind of cool to me, not just because of him being skilled, but also because he was just the type of guy who wants to have a good time. Insert mention here that Dante was designed to be a cool protagonist who doesn't drink, smoke, or have sex like every single reviewer of this game does. No, seriously, go pop open a real review of DMC3 right now and see just how many people mention that. It's kind of insane. I'm pretty sure every single review mentions it. Also, I really love the music a lot. I'm not super into metal, but I'm into DMC3. Let's be honest, that's the best cutscene in the game. Also, I probably don't need to say this, but the cutscenes are really cool. Like, really cool, bro. They almost feel like they're meant to be a treat for getting through certain tough missions, and I kind of love that. And yes, I still pretty much watch all of the cutscenes despite this being my 18th playthrough. Shut up!
Welcome back.
But what I think is super special about DMC3 is actually its story. And it's because it's really focused on the rivalry between Vergil and Dante. Vergil and Dante are, like big time yin and yang. Both are cool in their own way, but they're both so different. Though, just kind of like the yin and yang, it's not always so much about how they're different, but also about how they're similar. I'm not going to go into too much detail, obviously. You can probably find lots of videos out there that could analyze this game far better than I could, bro. I just want to bring up that it's a game that could be really deep if you look into it. I'm not gonna be here to explain to you how deep the story is, man. We now welcome you back to deepest lore. What I'm trying to get across here is that I think it's a story that you could read more into if you really wanted to, but if you also just want to focus on the fact that there's a sibling rivalry going on, watching two brothers with conflicting ideals face each other down, you can totally do that. And I guess that's just kind of what's so exciting for me. I have a sibling of my own, so this type of game really speaks to me. And this is also poignant because, just like Dante and Vergil, me and my sibling are very, very different from each other, and we fight a lot. Which is why it's also just kind of so nice to see Dante and Vergil team up, because at the end of the day, family's family, right? Seeing these two come together to like lay in the last shot on Arkham is just so nice.
Remember what we used to say? Jackpot.
I think you get the general idea by now that I really do love this plot though, and not much more needs to be said. So yeah, I'm not going to be absolutely dramatic and say that Devil May Cry 3 changed my life. I feel like that's just going too far and really stretching the truth. Watching the ending doesn't get me teary-eyed or anything like that either, though it is so kind of sad to see Dante struggle to crack jokes as the loss of his brother is really hitting him.
Are you crying?
It's only the rain.
The rain already stopped.
The short version of this video is simply that I absolutely love Devil May Cry 3 with all my heart for the very personal reason that it was a fun game to blast through whenever I was feeling down and empty. It was a game that made me feel cool when I was really feeling like a loser, which is what games will always really be for me. They're escapism, and they're beautiful because of it. There's always going to be something special about forgetting all your worries and just having a good time with Devil May Cry 3.
I can already tell. Looks like this is gonna be one hell of a party!